Hello, Cubs fans, and welcome to another edition of Cubs on Tap solo show. The powers that be gave me the permission to be on here. I know I'm just as surprised as you guys are, but we got some stuff to talk about. It's been a minute. It has. It's been a little bit, but it's okay. It's the summer. We got stuff going on, but yeah, we got some Cubs stuff to talk about. But about me, real quick. Great weekend this afternoon. Smashed some golf balls at the local golf course, mowed the yard, and then grilled some steaks while I listened to Pat and Ron on the radio. Most of the time on Sundays, I like doing that. I don't know. There's just something about I don't know. There's just something about Sunday afternoons when you're mowing the yard, cracking open a. I'll get it here and cracking open one of those, and just listening to Pat and Ron in your ear hole while you go up and down in the backyard cutting that grass, baby. But hey, Cubs lose a series to Seattle in Seattle, but at least they salvaged it today with a 19-2 just smasher of a. I don't even know what. I mean, it looked like a. You've got a little league game going on right now, but this afternoon looked like a little league game in itself. 19-2. Wow. But no, let's talk about it real quick. So Friday, game one. Hey, we jumped to an early lead. PCA with the leadoff homer stays hot. At the time, it was his 32nd homer. Alex Bregman hits a homer in the first inning to make things, I believe, 3-0. I think what Michael Bush hit a homer somewhere in there. I'm gonna mix it up, whatever. But I mean, things looked like they were going good, and then just Seattle gets back in the game, takes the lead. You fail to score runs in scoring positions and all that kind of stuff. Alex Bregman tied it up in the ninth. That was nice to see. But you ultimately lose that game on Friday. Saturday, kind of the same thing. You get down early, you come back, you battle back. Randy Rosarina with the leadoff homer. Jacob Webb has a little bit of a meltdown in the ninth, and you lose on a walk-off homer to Randy Rosarina to lose 6-5. And, you would think after that, okay, two walk-off wins. Yeah, you had the lead in both games. You lose on walk-offs. You would think, I don't know, crap, whatever. But you answer back on Sunday with a 19-2, just absolute. And I've got it right here. I've got the scoring right here for today. Um, I mean, after Seattle takes a 2-0 lead, um, Conforto hits a solo homer. Ian Happ with a grand slam, his 22nd homer of the year. And then Bregman adds an RBI. PCA drives in another run. Carson Kelly adds an RBI. PCA later hits a 2-run homer, his 33rd of the season. Ian Happ walks in a run. Gabriel Reyes added an RBI. Our guy Pedro Ramirez, who I did not expect this season how much I was going to love Pedro. Pedro Ramirez for me took the place of, and this is no offense to this guy, he's been on the IL, Matt Shaw. He took the place of Matt so far right now. Matt Shaw can come back, but Pedro Ramirez has just took that spot, at least in the utility role right now, and has just ran. I get it. Today's grand slam was off a pitcher, but who cares? A grand slam's a grand slam. Um, Scored 9 runs in the eighth inning, and you end up winning 19-2 on 17 hits, 4 homers. Yeah, maybe it was a statement. I don't know, but as far as the pitching in this game, uh, Matthew Boyd wasn't terrible on Friday. He wasn't. Um, my issue with Matthew Boyd on Friday, however, was you're up early in that game. You've got the lead. You throw a 4 pitch walk to Taylor Ward to get runners on first and second, and then you throw a get me over fastball to Cal Raleigh, which I get it. Cal Raleigh hasn't been Cal Raleigh of last year, but he's been better since the All Star break. I feel like he was hurt early this year, and I'm not gonna say that's the whole reason why he's been kind of poopy compared to last year, but I mean, he looks like he's hitting the ball better. He obviously did this series. You throw that get me over fastball to Cal Raleigh to tie the game up 3-3. They take the lead later to make it 4-3. We talked about what happened earlier, but that's the thing. Matthew Boyd, he hasn't been terrible this season. Yeah, he's got a 4+ ERA. Whoop, I know that. I know that. But he just it seems like there's moments throughout this season that he has had difficulty putting away hitters. And then he has these short little moments where he'll draw a walk and then it leads to a run in that same inning. It's for me, for me right now, it's the reason why Matthew Boyd is not a game one starter in the playoffs right now. And for me, he's not even a game two starter. Call me crazy. Wouldn't be the first time. But for me right now, Matthew Boyd is just he's not a game one or two starter for me. Um and think I agree, Scott. I agree. This series makes the division unlikely, but it doesn't matter. Just need a chip and a chance. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Um, but then Saturday, which Friday we did see Danny P. Danny P sitting. That was nice to see. Love to see it. And Saturday you have David Peterson. David Peterson wasn't terrible either. 6 innings. 6 innings from David Peterson. If you would have told me that when we picked up David Peterson from the Mets, if you would have told me that David Peterson would be pitching 6 innings at the end of August for you in Seattle in a playoff race to get to win the wild card or just to get to the playoffs alone, I would have been like, "What are you talking about?" And so far, other than one bad start against Seattle, for the most part, David Peterson has been solid. Now, back to Danny P real quick with Danny P coming up. Like our guy Scott says right here, can we get a rant about Assad being called out? Dude, that guy, man, that sucks for Assad. It's got to suck for Assad, man. All he's done since he's been every time it feels like just that last series at home, um, just completely shoved in relief. And you would have thought after that outing for Assad that okay, he's going to be up here the rest of the season and still treated like the redheaded stepchild. No offense to any redheads out there, but man, they just yeah. But no, David Peterson, excuse me, has been really solid. And it brings me to the next pitcher in today's game, Shota Imanaga, who, if you look at the stat line for Shota this season, I believe a 3.7 ERA. Not bad. Not bad for Shota. Not bad at all. Here's Shota didn't have it today. He didn't. You can say what you want. Oh, well, he only got to go through 3 innings. It was a 5-2 game. There was runners on first and second with no outs. And he was getting hit this game. He was early. And there's a thing with me. I'm just a bald guy with a mustache. I don't know anything, but there's just a thing with me about Shota Imanaga. And I love Shota Imanaga. He's been very solid all season long. 10 strikeouts his last outing, not this one, but the last one. He's the type. He feels like he's the type when he gets hit early, there's no bouncing back. There's no riding it out. It feels like if he gets hit early, that's it. This guy's getting hit. This guy's getting hit all game. And that's granted they won 19-2. At the time it was 5-2. I don't I don't blame you could tell I don't know, he turned his back when he stepped off the mound before Craig Counsell came out, and it almost looked like he was upset about it, and he should be. But you're 70 plus pitches in the third inning, and I don't blame him for that move. Adrian Hauser came in and cleaned up, mopped up, got out of that inning scoreless. He threw a few other scoreless innings to this afternoon. Um, I mean, I don't hate it. That's the thing with Shota, though. So here's my question back to Saturday with David Peterson. It makes me wonder whether or not whether or not, who would you pitch? Who would you start first in a, let's just say, a playoff series right now? Home, away, doesn't matter. Would you take David Peterson over Shota Imanaga right now? It's I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, I agree. Tell us how great a pitcher is to the staff that doesn't have his good stuff and can get outs to save the bullpen. That's exactly that was Adrian Hauser today. Javier Saad's been that for multiple outings this season. Adrian Hauser was today. Uh, that's I mean, yeah, that's a win-win. That's just a it's like finding the $50 and the 20 extra dollars you had in your pocket you didn't know you had when you can have an arm, when you can have a guy like Hauser, like Assad, that yeah, your starter doesn't have his ace caliber stuff. Shoto wasn't him today. He wasn't. Uh it's nice to have that. And right now, I mean, with Assad, even though he's in the minors or in AAA right now, and with Hauser, it's just nice to see. It really is. And I tell you another thing about this series: the Cubs, by far, and may I get it, you're playing the Mariners, but when you watch the Cubs, by far, are the best defensive team in the league by far. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys know that. Everybody knows that. But watching that Mariners defense today just makes me appreciate our defense even more because yeah, they won 19-2, but if you really break down some of those hits, some of the runs that scored, yeah, in the book they were down as hits, but good God, I mean, I felt for the third baseman and I can't really say Randy Rosarina because there was a ball in left that dropped that I feel like a Rosarina could have had. There was a play the third baseman had, I can't think of his name, that threw it over to Josh Naylor. Just a horrible, could have been an easy out. And other plays like that. Victor Robles lost a ball in the sun. You had some balls again that just dropped, that just lackadaisical stuff that, and it's crazy to think with the Seattle team that's fighting for a playoff spot, man. But yeah, today's game just made me ultimately appreciate our defense even more, dude, because good God. Wow. Wow, that was horrible. It just was. It was. But so yeah, um Cubs salvage the series. You stay 4 games up thanks to freaking St. Louis, who let's just put it this way. St. Louis was up 4-0 in the ninth inning today, and Philly comes back and scores 6 runs in the ninth, wins that game. So right now, if you're looking at the standings, you've got Chicago, who is we're 75 and 56 right now with a 4 game lead with that number one spot in the wild card, followed by Philadelphia, who's 73 and 58, and then San Diego, who's 71 and 60. But you've got 3 teams. Yeah, you could say three. You got 3 teams with Arizona, Miami, and yeah, St. Louis, um, that are all fighting for that spot. I get it. St. Louis right now is what 5.5 back, but still, I mean, it's September, man. Stuff can happen. Stuff can happen. You just know here. Game one, I don't know. Assad game one, I don't know, Scott. I mean, I like Gosman. If the playoffs started today, call me crazy, but I'm going Kevin Gosman game one. I'm going Kevin Gosman game one. Let's see here. I'm not frozen, I swear. Um, let me look. Let's see here. I think I go Kevin Gosman, Clay Holmes. I mean, you could make an argument for Assad, but I don't think it happens. It's either, I think ultimately it's going to be Matthew Boyd, but man, Matthew Boyd's got to show me something this last month. He really does. There's just something about Matthew Boyd that um he's his issues happen. Okay, earlier this season I compared Matthew Boyd and Kyle Hendricks in the sense that Kyle Hendricks always had that issue in the first inning. It was always the first inning. He'd give up a run or two and then he'd be fine. Matthew Boyd, it's not necessarily the first inning, but it's usually that one inning that he gives up two, three, four runs, and that's it. But it's those two, three, four runs that's it. That's the game. And to me, Matthew Boyd just it just feels like there's been so many times this year where he's struggled. He struggled to get hitter to put hitters away. He'll have an 0-2 count and then turn it into a 3-2 count. And I don't know. It's just I just don't trust that in October in a playoff series, in a series where an elimination game for that matter. But yeah, it just I don't know, but I think ultimately it is Boyd for game three if that was to happen. But hey, we got to get to the playoffs first. I know we're up 4 games. Um, but uh, but yeah, at the end of the day, you lose the series to Seattle, a series that should have easily been won. It should have. Yeah, Jacob Webb Saturday had the blow up, but I look at it this way. I'm not out on Jacob Webb. Jacob Webb is the closer right now. You could say what you want. Oh, well, he gave up 3 runs. Get him out of the closing spot. I heard somebody on X say that yesterday, and it's like, dude, have you forgotten that Jacob Webb recently just had a 25 inning scoreless streak for Jacob Webb? I'm sorry, and Danny P looked good on Friday. Had 2 strikeouts. Does he work his way back to the closing spot? Maybe. But right now, Jacob Webb is still he's still my ninth inning closer. He is. Danny P can be the 8th inning guy right now. I just feel like Jacob Webb has he has the ball in the 9th inning for me. Who has that John Lackey attitude as a starter? I love that John Lackey attitude. People could say what they want about John Lackey and his numbers. John Lackey in that clubhouse in 2016, 2017, you can't tell me that guy did not have some FU attitude about him. You got to have that. And I support it. I'm here for it. Give me that FU attitude every freaking time. I don't care what your Lackey was like, Lackey was the type that he could give up 5 runs in an outing. It does not matter. He's going to be in that clubhouse with that FU attitude every day of the week, twice on Sundays. I don't care. Give me that every freaking game with Gosman, with even Assad. Assad showed that fire the other day. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. So give me that. Give me that. You gotta have that. You gotta have that in October. You gotta have that in September when you're fighting for a playoff spot. So yeah. Cubs lose though. Cubs lose the series, but hey, we're all right now. It's gonna be all right. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing. The rest of this season doesn't get easier. It doesn't. You look at the schedule right now, and we'll talk about the preview here in just a second. But you head to Arizona starting on Monday. And Arizona's still in it. I mean, I get it. You're without your best one of your best players in Gatel Marte, but they're just 2 games back from wild card spot. They would love to beat us, sweep us in a 3-game series to get even closer to a wild card spot. But then after that, you've got Cincinnati at home, which say what you want. They're like 9 games back. They had an absolute just embarrassment the other afternoon against St. Louis. Had that game won. If you don't know, go check it out. It was ridiculous. And then you've got the Big Daddy. You got the Big Daddy starting on Monday with Milwaukee. And then September, like you look at September right now, and it doesn't get easy. It really doesn't. You got Miami, who's in a wild card spot. You got Milwaukee again at Milwaukee. You got Pittsburgh, which say what you want. They're out, at least at the moment right now. I want to say they're like 6 or 7 games back or maybe more. But you still got to deal with that pitching staff. You've got Atlanta. That Atlanta, we know what Atlanta is. They beat us in a 3-game series earlier this year. You've got Cincinnati again at Cincinnati. I hate Cincinnati. I know you guys know that. If you don't, now you do. You got Miami again, and then you finish off the season with the Red Sox. Dude, it doesn't get easier. It really doesn't. With that being said, you've got to take care of business. You can't have what you had Friday and Saturday. I get it. They're walk-off wins. It sucks. Whatever. One was a walk-off home run. Okay, fine. But you just can't have that in September. You really can't. Um, can this team win the division? Uh, to me, I'm at the point now. Yeah, take care of business against Arizona and Cincinnati, and then when it comes to Milwaukee, when it comes to that Brewers series, just play 500 with them at least. Put a run or two on Mizorowski, put a dent in his armor, punch him in the face just a little bit, just to remind him, hey, you're just a little Pokemon kid. Um, Even though he's having a really good season this year, I'm not going to tell him that to his face, but um, yeah, just at least try to play 500 ball with Milwaukee, and then just see whatever happens happens. Um, but yeah, it it doesn't get any easier. It really doesn't. That's I mean, if you look at it, that's pretty obvious. Looking at the schedule. And speaking of obvious, cheap plug. If you haven't already, scan this little QR code right here, right there. It's the obvious for 10% off on your next obvious order. Do you not want to save 10%? Do you want to save 10% or not? I mean, it's really it's the obvious thing to do, right? Right? So just do it. So anyways, yeah, final thoughts about this series. Yeah, today was fun, 19-2. You got to see a couple pitchers hit and you beat the crap out of them, and that was cool. MVP still making his case for the MVP. Say what you want about Shohei. Um, if Shohei doesn't pitch anymore this season, I don't see why in the world, if PCA can't keep this streak up, that he can't win. I'm saying it again, until Shohei steps on the mound before the end of the season, PCA is my MVP right now. He is. He just is. That I'm just saying. Yeah, he is. But it was nice to see him continue to do his thing. Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman is getting hot. He is hot. Um, and I said it after the All Star break. I said after the All Star break, Alex Bregman is going to remind us all why we were so happy during that Bears Packers football game, whatever night that was. When everybody looked at their phones and seen Bregman to the Cubs, I think we're about to see we're seeing right now, and we're going to continue to see why we all were so excited for that Alex Bregman move, because he's been pretty hot lately, and his ABs today, just they all look so much better than earlier this season. So love to see it. Love to see it. What's next? Well, like I said, the Cubs head to Arizona. 3-game series at Arizona. Arizona's not easy, man. Arizona's one of those scrappy teams. They're young. They've got some decent pitching. You got Corbin Carroll. You got Geraldo Perdomo, however you say his name. I probably just butchered it. Will they have Cattell Marte? I doubt it. Haven't heard anything more. I think he's back on the IL. No, he went from the restricted list to the IL. But with that being said, Arizona's a good team, but so are we. So are we. I think tomorrow starts off with, I believe it's Kevin Gosman and Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly's rocking a 5.37 ERA, whereas Kevin Gosman, yeah, he's got a 4.5 ERA, but he's had his last start ended early because of his left thumb cramped up. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. That was crazy. Just crazy. But you got Kevin Gosman, Merrill Kelly, again, 5.37 ERA for Kelly. Yeah. And then on Tuesday, you've got Clay Holmes, and I'm going to butcher this guy's name too, but Brandon Pat. I'm just gonna say the F silent. I don't know, but and then on Wednesday you've got Matthew Boyd against Eduardo Rodriguez, who Rodriguez has been very good this year. I'm not the big guy. I'm not the biggest guy on overall records for pitchers, but I wish they would bring it back a little bit more. I wish they would bring it at least the importance back a little bit more. Um, Call me old school, I don't know, but he's 13-4, 13-4 with a 2.61 ERA. Pretty good, pretty good. What's this team got to do? Well, hey, Kevin Gosman, I need to see that FU start from Kevin Gosman. He had one earlier this year, I believe it was against Washington. He was pretty solid against Washington. Um, I just need to see that FU game from Kevin Gosman where the fastball's hitting, the splitter splitting, and the former LSU Tiger is just mauling out there. I need to see that on Monday. Tuesday, Clay Holmes, man. Clay Holmes, continue to be Clay Holmes. Get those ground balls. Let the infield do the work for you. And Matthew Boyd on Wednesday. That's a show me something, Matthew. Show me something, dude. Because I mean, like I said, it's he hasn't been terrible this season, but he can be better. Show me that all-star form from last year. Show it to me. When you get ahead of guys, put them away. Don't waste all these balls on building your pitch count up on a 0-2 count that you turn into a 3-2 count that turns into a single that then turns me into a 2-run homer because you had to get a fastball over. Show me something. And the offense, PCA, continue to do what you're doing. Alex Bregman, continue to do what you're doing. Michael Bush, by the way, Michael Bush this past weekend, he had some hard knocks. Is he heating up? Yeah, probably, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. Nico Horner's been hot since the All-Star break, batting over 350 since the All-Star break. Do your thing, man. Keep on doing it. Ian Happ, I know he hit a homer today. I don't know. All I'm saying is you score 19 runs on Sunday. Carry that over into the week. Carry that over into Arizona. At Arizona. It's going to be hot probably. So what? You don't play till 8:40? You get you some rest. Go out there and just hit the crap out of the ball. And then Kevin Gosman, just do your thing, man. Just do your thing. Split the splitter and just do your thing, man. But yeah, could be a tough series, but hey, it's a winnable series. It is a winnable series. I'm not sure how they did earlier this season against Arizona at home, but you got Merrill Kelly, who's rocking a 5+ ERA, even though he did have a complete game earlier this year, but we don't expect that to happen. Don't plan on it anyways. With that being said, I guess about the only other news I got is tonight during the Little League game between the Brewers and the Braves, it was announced that the Blue Jays and our Cubbies are going to be playing in the Little League World Classic, whatever you call it, next year. If they have a season next year, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it was announced. It's crazy. We get the All-Star game and the Little League Classic. Maybe we're getting that because we're missing the All-Star game. I don't know. I'm still on the boat that we're not getting the All-Star game next year. I hope I'm completely wrong. But I'm on the boat of we'll just cross that bridge next year. We'll cross that bridge this off season. There'll be enough time to talk about it, as much as we don't want to talk about it. Scott here believes there isn't going to be a baseball season there isn't going to be baseball next season. I don't want to go that far yet. I hope you're wrong, Scott, but let's just hope not. Let's hope there is, but yeah, so maybe that's why I was just announced that they're getting the Little League Classic. Other than that, I almost forgot too. When they go to Arizona, they are going to get a look at Ben Brown, who threw bullpens, I believe this weekend, and Justin Steele, our guy Justin Steele, who I believe just at the end of July, he threw a bullpen at Wrigley, I believe a 20-pitch bullpen, and so yeah, that's 2 arms right there that we're possibly adding sometime within September, I would hope. Can Ben Brown come back to just part of what he was at the beginning of the season? God, that'd be awesome. God, that would be nice. To have that back, and then whatever you get with Justin Steele to throw on, that'd be nice. That would be really nice. So anyways, yeah, he had a live bullpen with live batters. Yeah, so he's got to be close. And again, Come September, you got the September call ups. You bump the roster up even more. Uh, that's great. Love to see it. Love to have it. But yeah, as far as Cubs, that's all I got tonight. Be sure to check out our website. Be sure to check out On Tap Sportsnet, where we don't just cover the Cubs as much as we like to talk about the Cubs on here. We cover the Bears, the Bulls, the Blackhawks. We cover golf, and we even cover that team across town, not across my town, but across town. We cover those White Sox too, who, by the way, they're looking. I mean, I know they had that big fight in the stands just this afternoon. But by the way, they are. Let's see here. They're 3.5 games up on their division. So, and I like talking crap about the White Sox just for fun. It's not. I don't hate the White Sox. I'll say though, baseball. I'll say to our guys with Sox on Tap, if you do follow that team, those are the guys to follow with Sox on Tap. Baseball is just more fun when both the White Sox and the Cubs are both doing good. So there's that. But yeah, follow all that. Check them out on Facebook, YouTube, X, all that. We do shows just about. You got the Bears. You got football coming up really soon. Really, really, really soon. Bears on Tap. Go check them out. But yeah, that's that's it. That's all I got. And the only way we I got to get out of here the only way I know how, and that's St. Louis. I mean, you let me down. You guys let us all down, anyways, because you guys are St. Louis. But you guys had a cookie. You guys had a cookie this afternoon. You had a you had a 4-0 lead, a 4-0 lead with 2 outs, and you couldn't finish the job. And Big Daddy Kyle Schwarber said, "That's fine. I'll take care of this for you." And smacks a game winning home run against you. And it's just another reason why me and everybody else here, we always like to say F the Cardinals and let's go Cubs.